very building. But today I'm looking forward to hearing all of your voices resonate off of these walls.
Yeah.
Victories, taking down racist statues that have stood for over 100 years. Winning the prosecution of the police who are complicit in George Floyd's murder. And let us not forget that we won a retreat from the political and police establishment by winning the East Precinct. And all across the country, of course, the epicenter of this movement started in Minneapolis, but people have been watching what we are doing here in Seattle. And so our movement has an important crossroads. And that question is, what do we do and how do we do it? And I think that this is a key question that every movement has had to struggle with across the decades, across the centuries. And so I think that it's really important that we come together to discuss and debate. I think we heard a lot of important community leaders down in Cal Anderson, but we as the movement need to debate and discuss. And I think that many of us are familiar from spending time out at Cal Anderson, and any of you who are maybe occupied, but maybe that's just me dating myself, that we want to have a General Assembly. We want to have a conversation about what is next for our movement. Because it's not just for the mayor to make decisions in this building. It's not just for the Democratic Party establishment to vote yes on a racist police contract. It's for us to come here and decide how we want our city to be run. So, we know how to be organized. I think one of my favorite chants that we did on that street was, who keeps us safe? We keep us safe. Who keeps us safe?
We keep us safe.
Who keeps us safe?
We keep us safe.
Who keeps us safe?
We keep us safe.
That's right. So, Logan, everybody remember Logan? An injury to one is an injury to all? We're going to take steps. What that means is that we'll get into a line and we will get on stat. You give him your name and what you want to speak about. Yeah, for sure. And we're going to have a couple of speakers while we take that stack, because that'll take some time, because we're going to do this in an organized way. And we are going to have a People's Mic here tonight in the People's City Hall. Yeah.
Who's City Hall? Our City Hall. Who's City Hall? Our City Hall. Who's City Hall? Our City Hall.
So my first two speakers are going to be Teal Sean, who many of you may already know, and Shama Sawant, who I hope all of you know by now because she was emceeing the rally before. And if you would like to speak, please approach Logan and he will take your name. And we will have a People's Mic in People's City Hall. Who's City Hall?
Our City Hall.
Who's City Hall?
Our City Hall.
Who's City Hall?
Our City Hall.
Do you have a wet mic for me to...
Before I get started, I know there's going to be a lot of people who want to have an opinion, who want to have their voice heard. So in order for everybody to have their voice heard, who wants to be heard, 1 to 2 minute comments or opinions, and we'll get through everybody as quickly as possible, okay?
Could someone take a screenshot of that for me?
I want to tell you guys something. I'm a little emotional right now, and I'm sorry. But I'm going to tell you guys something. This is my first time ever in this building. And so for to be in this building with all you guys telling me my life matters. You guys see what we're doing here? Like, do you guys really see the magnitude of what we're doing here in Seattle today? For the past 10 to 12 days, do you guys see what we are accomplishing? All of us together. It wasn't just me. It wasn't just the councilwoman. It was all of us. It took all of us. It's going to take all of us to keep this going. It's going to take all of it. It takes a village to raise kids, correct? So it's going to take a village to change the city. We are that village, you guys. We are that village. This is the village right here. And listen, guys, listen. On a serious note, I'm so grateful and so thankful for you guys, bro. Like, first time in this building is for this. It's for history. First time in this building, and we're making history here, guys. And I'll never have words to thank you guys and express my gratitude to you guys, because this is why we're here. It's to come together as a whole and change this racist systematic system as a whole. And it's gonna take all of us, not just me. I'm one person. But just imagine what the thousands of us can do.
Oh, yeah.
Who's gonna stop us? Who's gonna tell us we can't do what we wanna do?
Who gonna handle me? Who gonna handle me?
Who's gonna tell us we can't police ourselves and have a sustainable community run by the community?
Well, you saw last night there was a win in Seattle. The police fell back. Today they're at Town Hall. Portland seemed pretty chill last night.
Logan's got a good stack. I'm going to give the mic to Shama, and I do agree with
Hey, we gotta hear her.
what Tishana said.
I'll be back, though.
That the best way that we can all speak is to have, relatively succinct comments. So think about
This
what
mass
you'd like
shit's
to
still
say.
weird.
Put forward, what you think are the next steps for this
But,
struggle. Because I think, as Dave
Big
said, we have
big
the
group of
power to
people's
really
not even
affect
there.
change.
We're holding it down elsewhere.
I think maybe having a sweet discussion with her husband that she loves very much.
There's that cool fence in there with a bunch of shit. There was a VMAS attached to the fence at one part of the fence. That was dope.
Say his name. George Floyd. Say his name. George Floyd. That's right.
Dear friends, as Sister Teal Sean said, this is such a moving occasion. For all the difficult moments I have, having to be around corporate politicians, bureaucrats, all kinds of sellouts. This is what it's all about. And when I'm sitting on the dais every moment, I remind myself, they're not my people, you're my people. Seeing everybody lined up here on multiple floors reminds me, and many of you might have been here with us. How many of you are here with us when we won our first election to get a socialist into City Hall in January 2014? The City Hall was filled just like this. I wanted to share with you a couple of anecdotes to let you know what it's like on the inside and why we have to fight for our own political representation in the movement. A few days before the inauguration, the former mayor, who was also a corporate mayor, Ed Murray, called me on the phone, angry, because he had heard that people, ordinary people, were going to show up to City Hall for the inauguration because we were all going to get inaugurated together. And he said to me, I don't know what you're up to, because you know, I'm going to be the first gay mayor of Seattle, and good families with children are going to be here. And they are going to be, they're afraid of who else will show up. Do you know what my response was to him? I said, Mr. Mayor, do you know who is fighting for $15 an hour? Who is fighting for rent control? Who is fighting for a just society? It is good families with children. A few weeks later, this was, I think, still in January, two of the leading corporate politicians and City Hall council members came into my office, sat me down, and told me, it's all well and good that you have roused the rabble and got yourself elected, but we're here to tell you that City Hall runs on our terms.
Yes!
And they said, City Hall runs on our terms, and you're not going to win any wage increase, let alone $15 an hour. Oh, famous last words. Less than 6 months later, we had won the historic Fight for 15, which went nationwide. And so, my dear sisters, brothers, and siblings, that's the kind of political representation we need. It is not about me. It is about building the kind of political representation that brings the voice of the people into the halls of power and grabs power for ordinary people. Right? No bullshit. So as inspiring as this moment is, and we need inspiration to be coursing through our veins, because how else will we build this long and hard fight? But alongside inspiration, we need to be sober. We are not going to win any of our demands, and it is pointless making lists and lists of demands unless we have a way to win any of them. And winning those demands needs a clarity about who's on our side and who's not. And I think this is what this multiracial movement is beginning to show. And I wanted to say, on Monday, we're going to be the City Council is going to be voting on banning chemical weapons and banning chokeholds. Also, starting tomorrow's Wednesday, starting tomorrow, every Wednesday for a few weeks through July, the City Council is going to be discussing budget issues, meaning two very important demands for us. Defund SPD. And tax Amazon. I'm going to stop now because we want to start the assembly, but I want to do one chant alongside the Defund SPD. So will you chant with me? Tax, tax, tax Amazon.
The energy in this room is so inspiring, so much more inspiring than any of the decorum that normally takes place here. I'd like to welcome to the stage Michael, who I believe has a song for Jenny Johnson.
If you don't know me, you know I don't ask for much, but I need everybody to get up on your feet for this song. We're going to sing Jenny Johnson, the Divine song. It's been an anthem all across the country for mayors and police officers that have been fucking up. And the song goes like this. You about to lose your job.
Hey, you about to lose your job. 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 Hey. You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. Hey, what? You about to lose your job. Hey, good work, man. Good work. You about to lose your job. 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 You about to lose your job.
I think we got ourselves a new chant. That was amazing. I don't know how to follow that up. So next on the mic, I've got Monea. Is Monea close by so we can put them on the mic? And I'll actually just read out the next person so folks can prepare themselves. Adam, also, who wants to speak to schools, is up next. And if Adam is close by before Monea, maybe we can let Adam go. You're Monea. Let me just wipe this down.
So I've been to a lot of protests, guys, and I'm not going to talk about like anything of substance, but I've just noticed that a lot of like white people are always on the list and like to speak. Like they're always in line. Like for like most of the protests I've been to, it's like all white people speaking, then like maybe 2 black people. And I just like us to like look around the room and just realize like how outnumbered the black community is, even at a Black Lives Matter protest, and to like realize how crazy that is. If you're white and you put your name on a list, just realize how comfortable you are expressing your voice and how uncomfortable black people are putting their name on that list, because even in a room full of white allies and white supporters, we still feel that discomfort to speak, and that's an effect of white supremacy, so just realize that before you speak.
Woo! Say that, bitch. Say it. Say it.
Conscious of that. I'm tired of white people talking to me. I love you guys are all my allies, and I love you all. But it's something I haven't heard before. I'm tired of white people talking to me. I would love for all the black people to talk up here. I'm really sorry. Also, for all the council member affiliates, please stop using Black Lives Matter for your political campaigns. Yeah! too. I want to do all these things too. But this is not a movement for you to be politically active, for you to be politically correct, and for you to gain all these votes. Please stop taking advantage of us. I'm really sorry.
Corporations is the one taking advantage of everybody.
I want to do all these things too, but can we please talk about Black Lives Matter for 1 second?
Yes!
I'm sorry, let's just focus on this for 1 second. I feel like this is the one time where we can actually speak about this, so can we please focus on this? That's all. Thank you. I love you all.
Woo, 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 woo.
You the stuff. You the stuff. I'm not gonna curse, but you the stuff.
You the shit, bro.
Yes. We got my guy Adam, and he wants to address us about how we deal with our schooling system and whatnot. So hear my guy Adam out, all right? Give it up for him.
Thank you. I just want to put this that's a great point, and I'm really sorry that you feel that way where, such a large part of the community we're rallying against to support our neighbors aren't able to feel comfortable to be up here. And kind of just what I want to talk about is the root for me of where I feel like a lot of comes in our society, which is our education. We're training our children to think this way and to think of lies. The USA can be called a lot of times it's been called by a political writer, Gore Vidal, the United States of amnesia, because we learn nothing, because we don't remember anything. We don't teach the truths of our history, and there are hard facts and things that are uncomfortable for different parts of our lives. I'm half white, and through all this, there's a lot of things that I didn't realize, I didn't appreciate all the privilege that half of me had. I would be focused on my half brown side, and there's so much blessings that I've been given just on that. And I think that the whitewashed way narrative of our school system is something that really needs to be addressed. And equal representation, both in faculty and curriculum. Curriculum's just as important.
So the problem is that one chick's saying the thing about not making it political basically is ignoring history. Like, you have to. If you want change, you have to change everything. You can't just change a narrative. You can't change the stance of how people look at one group of people. You have to change everything, or it will never sustain. It's the thing about movements. No offense, but it's just ignoring MLK's history. It's sad.
Hi, my name's Ahmed. I'm an immigrant. I am Arabic, I am mixed race, and I could talk about the day that I thought a cop was going to shoot me dead in a hospital elevator. But I'm going to talk about how hard it is to do everything right. Because the moment you slip up, the U.S. government can just throw you out. If they think you're a criminal, and they say you're a criminal, it's game over. And who is it who decides? It's the cops. It's the institution. It's the establishment.
Yeah. Oh, no, don't talk about the establishment. That lady will be like, no, you can't do that.
I am scared to even be standing here, putting a bullseye on myself, because I have known friends who have been targeted for speaking up. Because if you speak up, you're in danger. So what I am asking for is part of defunding the police is a program specifically designed to protect immigrants. Because right now, the people who are doing the work are nonprofits. These are people who are volunteering their time, their skills, and they can't do it alone. We need an institution to protect us.
Try to advocate for it by talking to Amazon and other chicks that don't do that. It makes message. That's the problem.
Defund the SPD.
So while Ahmed was speaking, I heard a rumor that some marchers heard that we were here and they came to join us. And they had marched to the Amazon spheres.
Yeah.
I guess maybe to say hello to Jeff Bezos. And now they've joined us here in whose City Hall?
Our City Hall!
Whose City Hall?
With Lex Luthor looking dude.
City Hall!
Our City Hall!
So we've got a couple more speakers on this list. And I think we're going to want to march back to City Hall, to the encampment at 10 p.m. But I would like to introduce Oscar Jacks, who's going to talk about intersex employment. But let's greet our new friends who are coming in right now.
Hey, what's good, girl?
Whose City Hall? Our City Hall! Whose City Hall? Our City Hall! Whose City Hall? Our City Hall! Whose City Hall?
Our City Hall!
Our City Hall! Our City Hall! Our City Hall! Our City Hall! Our City Hall!
9:30.
Our City Hall! Our City Hall!
Folks who are born of sex, not just the white people. We face the worst oppression. We face the worst being marginalized. We face being the worst targets at the worst by the SPD because they are racist, they're intersex phobic, they're transphobic, and they're mixed race phobic. And we need to stop that. This is Pride Month. And we need to hold
cops accountable, and Jenny Durkin has never stood for us intersex folks at all. She has always been against us. She has stood us. She has silenced us. We mixed-race national and intersex folks need to rise up and say no more silence, no more being stopped. And we need to be accepted, respected, and treated with dignity, and we deserve our Stonewall and our equality.
Hello everyone. Hi. Thank you for, okay, we are in a pandemic, so please everyone wear a mask. If you need mask, we have one right there and the other one right there. So if you don't find a mask, please look for me. I have a mask over here. But please wear your mask because we are in a situation that we need to be careful. Thank you everyone.
So, the mask man, I'm calling the mask guy. The mask guy wants us to keep our mask on. I'm gonna talk with my mask on. So you guys still can hear me clearly and fluently, right?
Problem with masks.
Oh shit!
Oh, that's why masks suck.
All right, here we go. Before I bring up the next guy, who's gonna bless us with a beautiful song, I can just feel it in my bones. Listen, I want to explain something to you guys real quick, because I know we're all trying to in here trying to figure out, like, what does tax Amazon have to figure out and have to do with Black Lives Matter. But let me tell you something. The Central District of Seattle was a predominantly black neighborhood that was gentrified by Amazon. You get what I'm saying here? That's how taxing Amazon affects the black community. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm not discrediting anybody. I'm educating. I'm not discrediting anybody for anything they said up here, okay? Because they have the right to feel how they feel. That's not my job, is to take that away from them. But I can educate people, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm gonna do. So Amazon bought up the Central District, gentrified it supposedly, but who all lives there now? Because I don't see any black people in the Central District anymore. No. I see people walking their dogs and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I don't see who owns that neighborhood living there. Because technically that is a black neighborhood owned by black people and was stolen from black people by Amazon. That's right. Because it's convenient to their work location. So if you ask me, I don't give a hell about taxing Amazon. Tax the hell out of them 10, 15, 20 times. Who cares? Make them pay for it. Who cares? If it gives me my neighborhood back, who cares? If it makes me affordable to live, have affordable living, who cares? Who cares? But enough about that. Now we're all educated. I have my guy Mark here. You know, he has his guitar and he wants to play a beautiful song for us. And I think we ought to use a song in these trying times of global protests and pandemics and stuff. Come on now, Mark, come on, buddy. Come on, Mark. You're gonna need the mic, Mark. There's a lot of people, Mike. We're almost to the rafters, Mike.
Okay, this is, my name is Mark Taylor Canfield. I have a band called NTC and the Rebel Saints. And we've all, of course, been suffering because we haven't been getting out. But we need to save the show box as well. That's another issue. But the reason we're here, the reason they left these precincts is because you got pepper spray, you got tear gas, you got hit with concussion grenades and pepper balls and rubber bullets like me, and you didn't go home! You didn't get up, you didn't go home, you didn't give up in the face of all of that, and that's why you're winning, and that's why this movement is going to win. So this is for all of you and all the people across the country and around the world who are standing for Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
Mr. Boss Man, won't you hear me when I call? Mr. Boss Man, won't you hear me when I call? I said, you ain't so big now. You just pop, that's all. said, Mr. Boss Man, we don't need any more hate. I said, ain't going down that road no more. Man, it's far too late. So, Mr. Boss Man, won't you hear us when we call? Mr. Boss Man, won't you hear me when I call? I said, now you ain't so big now. You just talk, that's all. I said, now you ain't so big now. You just talk, that's all.
Just like, let's not tax him, son. We're black people are just trying to get a piece of the American dream. The dream that you have to be asleep in order to believe. They're fighting for that. I was like, if the Black Lives Matter movement is trying to get equality and getting screwed over by the system, that would be the lamest protest of all fucking time, man. I'm just saying.
We're still There's just two more speakers, Werner and Sarah Cornet.
Imagine Palestine was like that. We're just trying to be equal to Israel. We're just, like, come on, man. You can't make this shit up, bro. But again, that's the point of the destruction of the school system and the miseducation of people. So they don't even understand what the fuck was fought for in the 60s. And they want to fight for the same shit that was fought in the 30s for some odd reason. Like, come on.
Okay, my ex is Jenny Lewis, now known as Jenny White. Look her up. It's pretty. But the thing here I want to talk about first, though, that's the real thing. I did this for my kids. Victory was ours when we took the block. We took 11th block to the 12th block, and they finally let us come. Victory! 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 That's how I felt. I felt victorious. Now, people say, when you mention the mayor's name, I'm going to thank the mayor and the chief of police. You know why? I know last Saturday when you guys marched up on Madison, I was like, holy crap, they took Madison, man. And you guys took it again today. I was coming home from doing something. I missed Cal Anderson, and I'm like, I told the Uber driver, stop me off up here, man. Next thing you know, I see everybody coming, I have my little Ranye, I have my little Jameson, ginger ale. I tried to hand it out. But it was, guess what? It was a peaceful march. Everybody marched right by me. Nobody wanted no Jameson, so I drank it off. I didn't see it. Didn't like us up there talking crap to him, but he never came down and talked to us. Never. He was behind that mic. He could not get that decree out fast enough to declare war on us and drop off so many bombs I've never heard in my life. Of course, as soon as I was up there talking crap to him about how his wife was going to feel embarrassed, and how we were going to march straight through there sooner or later. But all of us, and I have to now thank all you white people. I have to say it like that. The white people here were in their face, okay? Like, we took down the first fence. It was a bad idea. We told the captain that. I tried to make a doggy pen at the park at Cal Anderson, and we didn't move the gates far enough, guys. But we still succeeded. So what I wanted everybody to know, once we crossed over, the mayor's gonna make the command. So he got agitated, called on the dogs, and then when they dropped off all those bombs, like I said, of course, I was way back at the Shell gas station looking up there. And when I saw the flags coming across the street, this is no joke, I will never forget this moment. The flags, and they have dropped their last bombs. You guys were mad, and you guys charged right back across Broadway. And just was like, no!
right back. I couldn't believe it. You guys took out all these bombs out there, and as soon as it was over, it was forward march. It was victory. I want Amazon to give a building away. We built Mary's place right there. It's been empty for months on this government shutdown. Amazon could give away a building to the homeless. They can even donate a couple of those tall ones. I don't like seeing them on the street. They shoot up out there. I don't understand how the council allow them to shoot up. They don't put the police on 3rd Avenue until we have somebody shot. They know it was the hottest place in town. They knew it was. And how long did they wait? Till somebody died. We need to help our public defenders in this city. They work so hard. They all have a family reunion up there in King County, in the courthouse. You should see it.
Like, again, if you want to ignore those death dates and pretend those weren't at all connected to this, you're just denying history. Whoops, not that, but this. Like, that's why her saying that shit is really stupid. Like, I'm like, not her fault, but but it's just not historically true at all, and just really stupid and not helpful at all for what's supposed to be happening.
People in Seattle, thank the mayor.
You can't be fucking pushing for the same shit MLK pushed, but not the shit he pushed in the end of his life, and just push the shit in the middle of his life. Like, what?
So we could go back to Westlake is what I'm saying. That was a pivotal point. She called it off. We were able to stay out there. We were able to stay out there without being arrested. And I'm thanking her because we were able to take the street. Period. Thank you. And thank you. And also, let's take the camera to pharmaceutical companies to start messing around with these pills. That's it. Very, very passionate for you guys to hear what she has to say. So
Yeah.
I am not going to hold her back no more before she gets to,
Hey.
you know? So here we go. Sarah, come on in.
I do not want to panic anyone at all, okay? But this is not a moment for you to cheer for me. Doesn't matter if you like what I say. I need you to just hear me. Okay. If you are able, please get out your phone right now and film me on live. Every single person. Every single person who is able to pull out their phone and film me on either live Facebook or Instagram, or just make a video of this and then send it to whoever you like that you know is an organizer in this movement or is interested in this movement. I'm gonna just take a second to breathe. Someone informed me that there was a meeting here. I was not aware of this. I just woke up from a nap. I have not slept very much, which is fine, but I take a second. Okay. If you go to my Instagram, my name is Sarah, which is spelled S-A-R-A-H. My last name is Tornay, which is spelled T-O-R-N-A-I. This movement right now cannot become a movement that is led by male voices. Okay? Do not cheer. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I simply don't have time because I've been organizing. I've been on the front lines. I was there when the car went through the crowd, when there was a shooter. I have been running from tear gas. I have been observing who is on the ground, organizing and trying to keep people safe. I do not have time for you to cheer for me because right now, my objective is to get us organized as strategically and intelligently as possible so that the police cannot reclaim the precinct. No, please don't. We would like for the precinct to become a building that this movement can use, because we need a place where we can like sit down, have meetings, we need computers, we need Wi-Fi. We need to be a highly organized thing, but I am not a leader, okay? There are many leaders amongst us that are right now working as hard as we can to like give each other our contact information, pull resources. However, there's so many of us, and it's so confusing because we're doing this in a matter of hours that people are running on very little sleep. Some people that are very important are having to stay home right now because of PTSD, because what we have experienced on the front line has been a human rights violation. We are under an extreme amount of stress. Now, when I say that this movement cannot be led by a male voice, that does not mean that there is no room for male voices, because male voices are extremely important, okay? White voices, black voices, Asian voices, Latino voices, LGBTQ, trans voices cannot be overpowered, because male voices are more naturally drawn to having their voices amplified the loudest. However, please listen. The people that have been organizing, boots on the ground, writing the numbers of lawyers on their bodies because we are ready to go to jail, we are ready to take bullets, have mostly been LGBTQ women and a lot of women of color, okay? This does not mean that by being part of this movement, you are now like super LGBTQ, or like you're a man and you can't have a voice, or like no, everyone has a voice, everyone has a place. However, the power of this movement, and I am in contact with people from Los Angeles, from Oakland, from different parts of the United States. This is not Seattle alone. LGBTQ women of color right now need for male voices to listen, okay? We see you, we will give you guys power. We will give you guys so much power, you just won't know what to do with it, but we will hold you accountable. We need your protection. We need to set up a system of policing that is humane and for the people and gentle. We need to train people in de-escalation. We need to have phone lines available so people can call. We need to do things like work out porta potties and sanitation, and there's a coalition of mental health workers right now that is trying as quickly as possible to get together and make themselves available for the people that have experienced such a high level of stress and fear that we have literally been losing our minds, but we're losing our minds at home. We're making sure that we're safe and everyone's checking in, but because everything is so fractured, this movement is in jeopardy right now of being overtaken by voices that are so excited and so beautiful and just want to scream our victory at the top of their lungs, and that is amazing. However, I just want to be like, does anyone know who AOC is?
Yeah!
So her superpower is she calls out the bullshit.
No, she doesn't.
That's my superpower. I will just call out the bullshit.
Well, your bullshit detector is broken.
Instagram, some of the things I say, you might be like, what the fuck? That doesn't matter. Don't pay attention to my politics. I just need people to give us some time to like make connections. If you go to my website, there is an encrypted email address that we are now asking people to email with what they would like to do in the organization. Tomorrow, we're trying to set up a meeting where we can have sub-meetings. Like, there needs to be an entrepreneur sub-meeting. There needs to be discussion of how we can have a budget that will be completely transparent. Every single meeting that we have should be on live or on YouTube so that people that are not here can see what we're doing, can comment, because we need to very quickly learn how to do everything better. We are up against the city of Seattle for now, but this is a national, global movement, right? So our goal is way bigger than this, but we just have to like organize this right now without fucking it up. That's it. Okay, so I'm gonna say a tiny bit about myself because I have not so far. So my name is Sarah Tournay, again. I was born in France. My mother died of AIDS when I was 3. She was from Mozambique, which is a tiny, it's a country that is 3 times as big as California, but the population is small. It has a very revolutionary, radical history that has been kept from the American people. It's an extremely powerful, tiny country. I mostly grew up in Texas, in an extremely racist, conservative, religious, tiny town in the Bible Belt. I spent some time in Austin, Texas. I grew weed in Northern California for a while. I have been a sex worker. I've worked for the Carpenters Union of Washington. I have been in the food industry. I've done a lot of random ass things, which makes just my knowledge, it's like little useful tidbits of information from this industry and that industry. I identify as LGBTQ, although I have mostly been in heterosexual relationships. I have an incredible amount of respect for the LGBTQ community. I am exactly 50% white and 50% black, okay? So I'm a Leo Scorpio cusp.
These numbers are not true.
So, I do not have answers for you right now, okay? I just woke up from a nap, from like, I've been awake for hours. I am trying my best to get people's phone numbers and organize. What I'm asking of you right now is if you are one of the people that has been like boots on the ground organizing, and you have something to say about what we could do in the next 24 hours in order to keep the precinct area ours and safe. I have a radical idea of changing the locks on the building, but there's cameras, but like, you know, I'm putting myself at jeopardy right now by being on camera, but there's so many of us that like, if I go to jail, now you have a record, like, this is just, I know, but this is just my opinion. Again, you know, I have my own opinions and like things I would like to see happen, like let's fucking squat in Seattle, but I am way more radical than probably most of you are, and I'm willing to like, let's have a conversation.
You think AOC's legit? You're not radical.
Some of these leaders are way less radical than I am. Like, I'm calling on the leaders that are visible, whose names you should kind of already know, are Nikita Oliver, Andre Taylor has been working in the backgrounds for your city. He is an amazing person. I'm not sure what he's up to right now, but he's great. Carmen Best, even though, like, yes, fuck the police, Carmen Best has done such a good job in, like, it could have been worse, okay? Like, the police is brutal, it was a human right violation what they did, but she is a woman of color as the chief of police, and I think Seattle could have been a lot worse. Like, she did, and Durkin, I would love to have a conversation with Jenny Durkin. I feel like she might be afraid of me. There's no reason. I see all of the ways that she has heard the people and has tried to like work with people, and even though she might not be the voice of the people right now, she might need to step down because our voice is so different from hers, and because she didn't act fast enough, and she definitely didn't act fast enough. But she's a human being, okay? She is just a woman who will learn and grow and change like all of us. She's not a villain. Please do not villainize anyone, but people need to be held accountable for their actions. Okay, I don't think I have anything else to say. Just if you are a POC woman, if you are trans, LGBTQ, please do not be afraid to grab the microphone. If you are an excited male voice, I hear you, I see you, like, please stay with us, we need you. But if you cannot grab the microphone, that would be amazing.
say one quick thing. I am an LGBTQ woman, and I am a leader in here. Clearly, I'm speaking up for all of us in here. So let's just a quick thing she wants to say. She's not gonna take up all of her time. She just wants to get her quick opinion out, get everything heard real quick, and then in a few moments here, we're gonna leave here and march back up to the East Precinct. You good with that?
Really quickly, I just wanted to point out how fucked up it is that the majority of the white population in City Hall right now booed a black man in a Black Lives Matter movement. It's really messed up that this black woman, I applaud you, like she said amazing things, but she got snaps when a black man got booed. If you're white, recognize your privilege, recognize how messed up it is that you think it's okay to boo a black man. Even if you disagree with him, you don't have the right to boo a black man in a Black Lives Matter movement. Thank you. Black Lives Matter.
And sadly, you see the problem of division.
Well, our sister Katie here is going to lead us back. So we are an organized movement, right? So we're going to do this.
I missed when he got booed.
So part of getting organized
He was cool. I liked him.
remembering our next steps, because I'll tell you one thing, we can have endless conversations amongst ourselves, but unless we challenge the halls of power, we ain't winning nothing. So
I got a good bullshit detector. Obama was cool. Oh, okay. Yeah, you don't have him. We'll see. Okay, bro. We just gonna sit here and lie, apparently.
For winning, defund SPD by 50% and taxing Amazon so we can build social housing and create jobs for our most marginalized sisters and brothers and siblings, then we've got to fight for it, and we have to fight City Hall. Who's City Hall?
Our City Hall!
Who's City Hall?
Our City Hall!
Who's City Hall?
Our City Hall!
Tomorrow, as I said, tomorrow the City Council will be meeting in its budget committee. They need to feel this pressure. Right now, everybody's sitting at home. They don't feel the pressure. Are we going to make them feel? Yes! Are we going to make them feel the heat of our movement? Yes! We're not going to win this tomorrow, but tomorrow is important in the movement. So tomorrow, 12 noon, you've got to sign up for public comment. I don't know how to give you the... I know it keeps getting broken. I can't do it much. Jonathan, is there an easy way of giving them?
Got Amazon in the same city, but this website can't stay up so much with this AWS server, though.
Just Google public comment Seattle City Council. You will find it. But you got to go there at noon, sign up. But the speaking itself will be at 2 p.m. because the committee meets at 2 p.m. But you've got to sign up at noon. So tomorrow, Wednesday, June 10th, sign up at noon. And to sign up, Google a public comment Seattle City Council. And then at 2 o'clock, whoever will be called up will be speaking. Let's plan to have hundreds of us sign up. Not everybody will get to speak. That's okay. We will have a whole hour of public comment, and that's important. And then following that, we will have more next steps. And one more thing I wanted to share with you. So tomorrow, make sure you demand defund SPD and tax Amazon for social housing for our black community. And Monday, so less than a week from now, the City Council will be voting on banning chemical weapons and banning chokeholds. Okay? What have we done tonight? We have demonstrated that we can take City Hall. If the politicians don't listen to us, then what will we do? We'll be back.
They didn't care that you'd be here the first time, or they would have been better people.
Yeah.
Yeah, before we leave, please listen up because we have to be safe. We have to keep it right, keep it tight. There's power in numbers. If anybody is waiting behind, yeah, we can. But I just want to go over some hand signals real quick so that we are safe. Because if we lose any of our people, we are less powerful. So let's go over some hand signals real quick before we head out. If you see people going like this, let's see everybody do it.
Whoa, let's tighten up.
That means closer together. We need to get tighter. We need to get tighter. That's what that means. If you see anybody go like this, one, that means black power, eh? But also that means stop. We're allowed to hold up intersections. We're allowed to stop people from getting home and telling them a message. We're allowed to hold up some traffic. We want to be peaceful, but we want to get a message out in a way that disrupts the city, to a way that wakes up the people who are too afraid to come out of their houses, too afraid to come out of their cars. So if you see people, if anything goes like this, who is in the front, we need to pass that back to the back that we're holding up, okay? If you see anybody go like this, or like this, that's the direction we're going. And we need to pass that back to the back to the back, so that we keep it safe, so that we know which way we're going. I think that's it. Okay, let's go over that again. What does this mean? Right now. What's it together? What does this mean? Stop. What does this mean? Go that way. And if you want to get a message out, if anybody has a megaphone or anything like that, please see me so we can lead. And it's going to be a free mic type of situation so we can get get words out, get stories out. And if I have any white folks here, anybody who's not from Seattle, Seattle is kind of a progressive city. I need y'all to take the message back to our rural towns. I need y'all to educate your white friends. You can walk the street, you can chant as much as you want, but education is power. I need you to get your white friends to realize what privilege is and things like that. And I need my white friends to talk to people of color and hear their stories right here in Seattle.
I guess, as I've been saying to myself lately, well, these protests aren't fun, you know? So I guess maybe that's why I'm so off put by some of the language and stuff, because it's just not for me. It's always weird. I was like, it's like, oh, Black Lives Matter. It's like, yeah, we're all one race, the human race. It's like, oh, don't judge someone by their sexuality or whatever. It's like, yeah, if you watch anything from like the documentaries on the porn industry, like and the liberation it gives you to be yourself and all that other shit, like you'd be like, all right, well, cool. If anybody, whatever, you take the libertarian stance. You know, whatever you do in your spare time, whatever you feel as a person, you know, that's you, man. I respect you for your decision to be you. You know what I mean? You didn't choose to be you. You just are you. So.
On Capitol Hill.
Oh, real basic. Like I said, the problem with these protests is just a real fucking stupid. It just hurts my IQ sometimes. Like, give me some substance. It's like, oh, tax him. Yeah, let's do some real change. Let's fuck the corporate state up. Let's fuck the state up, doggo. Let's fuck the state up that helps cause all these issues. Doggo alert. But I mean, you're seeing why motherfuckers clearly don't know who the fuck Martin Luther King was. You're seeing why. That's pretty cool.
The shadow of the Columbia Tower.
You're seeing why the education system fails people. It's so that when this shit happens, that they're still confused on what the fuck to do. I mean, it's super simple. MLK and shit lined it out. You get everybody out around a common purpose, and then you shift it towards the bigger issues. And they're confused by it still. And it's really annoying because, like, I just showed you and everything. Like, if you're not clear and concise, they go wacky. But I guess that's also the point. Is this point is spreading it out and having women leaders and shit. So that if they whack a woman leader, that would be very interesting. But
we were holding the line, waiting for
I don't know. So I mean, it's all just a clusterfuck. Is still the point. But it's the ground stages of something hopefully bigger, so that something also that would happen. I don't know. Again, they're just kind of here watching and enjoying at this point. It's still super hard to tell anything. It's just too early stage. I don't know, man. This is me.
Hey, good to see you. I'm doing alright, man. How about yourself?
Still more progress in Seattle.
That was an amazing video you got of Daniel.
Still some confusion on what the fuck to do next. Dude, we need to have meetings. What do you need to fucking meet about? Like...
Yeah?
Just so weird, bro. So progressive town. I mean, clearly not if y'all don't know who the fuck MLK was. Like, I mean, that's the thing. Ain't nobody even mentioning him. The motherfucker gave you the blueprint throughout history of how to handle this situation. The motherfucker's still confused about it.
Okay, we're going up this
So
street here.
lame.
We are on Cherry
That's
and
why they
Fifth.
whacked him, though. You know, they still shot Martin. Like I said, who is this chant for? For the people in the crowd? For the people in their houses? For the cameras? Who does this benefit? I don't mean that in a hostile way or whatever. I'm just curious as to actually, like, I don't know. Oh, that's weird. Well, that's it. This chick. What the fuck? I do like to say their name stuff. I do respect that heavily.
I'm gonna ask this sister if she's comfortable being on the live stream. So 1 second.
As I said, if I ever get a mic in my hand, I'm gonna do the say her name one, and they'll probably say they'll say who's the one they be saying? Fucking home chicken in Louisville. Like they be saying her name, you know the name, and then I would say but the one that really impacted me was Sandra Bland. You know, that was somebody who knew her rights. He wasn't just gonna take that shit and killed her for it. You know, the thing they hate the most is an educated person, you know, or an educated black person, because they got fire in their soul from a lot of repression. So that was the one that always cut the deepest. Is when they whacked her. I was like, oh, okay. They'd be like, oh, you got white privilege. I was like, tell it to Michael Hastings. Tell it to JFK. Tell it to RFK. Like, this white privilege you claim to believe, yeah, maybe with the police, but you're still in the police state, you know. You know, fucking, you know, the people in Yemen, they're not, you know, they're getting mowed down, irrelevant of their race. They're getting blasted. Doctors Without Borders getting blasted. Probably some white doctors there. Like, how's that white privilege going? You know, the whole Middle East, they're not black. They're just getting mowed down, though. So they're different because they're brown. You know, shit like that. It's like, yeah, people get mowed down in the streets, but military-industrial complex mowing them down in larger numbers and shit. Where y'all at on that? That's why I said this shit be like, it's cool, but they're not hitting the real issues yet. They just hitting, again, an issue, a low-hanging fruit issue that yeah, it'll quell up and create a situation like this throughout history, as we've seen many of times. But as we've seen many of times, nothing ever changes because the whole system doesn't change. So it's irrelevant. And it's really lame. And as Homeboy mentioned with the immigration, it's a very interesting point, too. I was glad he got the mic, but, you know, they'd be like, oh, no, you're not allowed to talk, man. You're a guy, or whatever. And I was like, yeah, it's interesting to hear his stance on that. But that's been it. That's probably a decade long. Yeah, an hour. Well, thanks for tuning in.